Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. My dear brothers and sisters, welcome back for day 3 of our session, which is covering the 99 names of Allah during this blessed month of Ramadan. Al-Asma wal-Husna, the most beautiful names of Allah. Yesterday, we covered 3 names of Allah, Al-Akram, Al-Ilah, and Al-Awwal. So today, inshallah, we begin with the name of Allah. Bismillahi wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'een. Maryam says, wa alaykum assalam. Jazakallahu khaira ya Maryam. So the first name which we will cover inshallah today is Al-Akhir. If you remember, yesterday we covered Al-Awwal, which means the first. Today, Al-Akhir, we are covering, which means the last or the end. This name of Allah, who subhanahu wa ta'ala, essentially is apparent in its meaning that He is the one whom there is nothing after Him. We know that we will all return to Allah. Everything will cease to exist except Allah. After all of our life here in this world, in this dunya, it'll come to an end. It'll come to al-akhir, which is, it'll come to be returned to Allah Himself. So we say, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. We know that from Allah we came. He is al-awwal, so we came from Him at first, and we will return to Him. He is al-akhir. We might know of the hadith where, I'll roughly give you the meaning of it, inshallah, where Allah on the day of judgment will, before the day of judgment or during the day of judgment, as far as I remember, will order the angel of one of his angels to take the souls of all the believers and of everything, essentially. So everything will cease to exist at one point, and then to that angel he will ask, like, who's left, and he'll say, the angel Gabriel is left, myself, Israfil, Mikael, we are left here. So he commands, essentially, for their souls to be taken. And then Allah asks again, who's left? And so that angel responds, I'm the only one left in you, Allah. And so Allah will command that angel, his soul to be taken as well, such that there will exist, other than Allah, nothing else. I mean, He, in the truest form, is Al-Akhir. He is the conclusion and the ultimate. So the next, inshallah, name that we will discuss is Al-Zahir, which the meaning of that is, there's a difference of opinion what the meaning is. On one hand, the scholars say that he is, by this name, it implies that he is the most apparent or the most manifest. And on the other hand, there is the opinion that he, by this name, is the most high. And I think we can understand, and both meanings, inshallah, are correct, in the sense that, yes, he is the most manifest and apparent. At the same time, he is the most high. There is nothing above him. And there is a specific dua that the Prophet ﷺ used to say, where he mentions, Allah, you are al-Dhahir, there is nothing above you. And you are al-Batin, there is nothing beneath you or closer than you. And so, this name, the most apparent, if you think about it in that context, it implies that through our faculties of reason and our faculties of observation, we can determine that Allah is manifest, all around us. Look at ourselves. Look at the creation of human beings. Look at the creation of the heavens and the earth. In that, He manifests Himself, His intelligence, His creative capacity. It's all manifested. The fact that there is no kind of in nature, in the laws of nature, you don't have any inconsistencies or any incongruencies. There's nothing that contradicts. So there's a perfect harmony, which points to his oneness. That there's no, two creators. It's a perfect system who has been created, which has been created by Allah, and it is manifest. So it is al-Zahir. And in terms of his highness, his being exalted, his being al-Zahir in that sense, it is apparent and obvious that given his, I guess, his power and his wisdom, power of creation, all of his actions and all the blessings which he has bestowed upon us, those are the highest, in the highest degree, in the highest level that they can be done. The power of creation, again, points back to the fact that there's a complex system which is created by al-Zahir, the most high. It's the most sophisticated. There's nothing that tops that level of sophistication which Allah has displayed in his manifestation of the name al-Zahir. So there's a saying which Yahya al-Fara said, and this is recorded by al-Bukhari, which he mentioned that Allah, He is Zahir over all things by His knowledge, and al-Batin over all things by His knowledge. And the way I understood that is when you think about macro and micro levels of understanding subject matters, you can see it from a macro perspective. So you're looking in and you comprehend everything which you see from that high level. Whereas from a micro level, you're looking at the innermost essence of that matter, and you're able to see all the complexities down at that very micro level. So, you have different subjects which we study. For example, in high school and college level, you'll have like macroeconomics and microeconomics, or you'll have microbiology. So these different ways of looking at things, Allah in His knowledge is the most perfect and is able to see at that very high level with perfection, with the most completeness and conciseness. And also He's able to understand with His knowledge the most micro level, the innermost aspects of subject matter when it comes to knowing, the essence of those things. So that is the name al-Zahir. And now we'll move on, and this name is also connected. It's almost as a contrast to al-Zahir. This name is al-Batin, which means the innermost one or the most near. So Allah is al-Batin, and His attributes and His essence, He is the most, the innermost, the most close, in the sense that there's nothing that we as His creation can understand of His essence other than what He's already told us about Himself. So His essential nature and His attributes, they're veiled from the people of understanding, the believers even. So these attributes of Allah, He chooses to keep them limited, the knowledge of it limited to Himself, other than what He wishes to reveal to His creatures of His essence. And on the day of judgment, inshallah, in Jannah, inshallah, actually, the believers will come to see Him for the first time. And, He will remove His hijab, His veil from Himself. So at that point, He, being al-Batin, has been concealed, and it has been very, kept within, innermost. So that's one aspect, or one way to understand the name al-Batin. It was reported by some scholars that the name al-Batin, it means close. And again, this goes back to what I was saying before from that narration that was found in al-Bukhari, that Al-Batin is closer than anything by his knowledge and his power. But this does not imply that he is close to us in terms of his physical being or his essence. Rather, he is above his throne, and that is something that we discussed yesterday. We're not supposed to misunderstand the fact that Allah is close to us. He knows the innermost workings of our soul, of our thoughts. He's closer to us than our own jugular vein. That does not contradict with the fact that he is settled above the throne and he is the most high. Al-Batin also can be understood as the one who cannot be known through the physical faculties. We've already discussed that. And that he is veiled from his creature's sight and imagination. So essentially, I think what we discussed today will be a good precursor for us to start using these names in dua and understanding who Allah is in his beautiful names. Again, we need to apply the rules of understanding, which was discussed in the first video. But for now, inshallah, we will conclude this video as we are already over our time. And inshallah, tomorrow we will cover the next 3 names. So until then, jazakumullahu khairan. Thank you for joining. Inshallah, we'll see you tomorrow at 3 p.m. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika nashhadu an la ilaha illa ant nastaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.